let's get into Saleh Mohammadi. Okay, let's get into Saleh Mohammadi. I'm actually going to pull up Colin Rugg's article or a social media post because I think it's better. Okay, so here's the deal, man. Here's footage of Saleh right here. Saleh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Forgive me. But here's footage of him and the two others who were executed, on trial. They're calling this an unfair trial. Before I show you Saleh, let's go ahead and read this. 19-year-old champion wrestler Saleh Mohammadi executed by Iran in a public hanging. Mohammadi, Mehdi, Ghasemi, and Saeed, Davoudi were executed as part of Iran's brutal crackdown on protests. According to human rights groups, Mohammadi was tortured to confess, quote, to the capital crime of waging war against God. His execution was blatant political murder, part of the Islamic Republic's pattern of targeting athletes to crush dissent and terrorize society, said human rights activist Nima Farr. The protesters were accused by the regime of killing two police officers with knives and swords. They, quote, fast-tracked proceedings that bore no resemblance to a meaningful trial, Amnesty International said. Rest in peace. Now, I am going to go out on a limb and say this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this right now, and I could look like an asshole, but I think I'm okay with being an asshole. Okay, if it does turn out to be that I'm an asshole, so be it. All right, but you mean to tell me that a young national champion wrestler just up and murdered two police officers unprovoked? He just lost his damn mind, right? Just wanted to throw away his whole life that he's working for. Wrestler, national champion, looking to represent his country. He just threw it all away because he went crazy and murdered two police officers with knives and swords. That's what you guys want me to believe, right? All you bird brains in the chat right now. Nitro well, I'm talking to you, bird brain. Okay, bird brains, make yourselves known. AI2A, confirm bird brain. We already knew that one. But you guys mean to tell me that's what you want me to believe? Absolute fucking clowns you are. Okay, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves, okay, for thinking something like that. I'm going to go ahead and say that this dude did not up and lose his mind and go ahead and try to murder two police officers. If anything, okay, it was probably in the act of self-defense because these police officers are cracking down on their citizens and they don't even got human rights. People are getting hung in Iran like it's fucking 1850. So just off that alone, I doubt that these guys got any rights in Iran. Okay, when it comes to the police officers coming around, cracking down on protests, I'm sure they could do whatever the fuck they want. If it is true, which we don't know if it's true or not. Okay, there's a lot of controversy about whether or not he's been convicted. He wasn't given a fair trial, people are claiming. We're going to get into it. Okay, but bottom line, bro, bottom fucking line, if he did do anything wrong, I bet it was out of, self-defense. This kid did not just lose his mind. Okay, this kid did not just lose his mind. And why do I think that? Well, because we got the same shit that happened in 2020. Okay, this story is eerily similar to when national champion wrestler Naveed Afkari was also executed in 2020 for the alleged killing of an Iranian security guard during a 2018 protest. Now, if these things are true, I don't even know if it's true that they killed these security guards and police officers. But if it's true, maybe they're being provoked out of self-defense to go ahead and retaliate. All right? Maybe that's what it has to do with, them killing the security guards. Maybe these security guards have no respect for their citizens. No, they give them no human rights, and these dudes are done with it. They're protesting against the regime as we speak. Maybe not as we speak anymore because they already cracked down and they made an example. But since we want to get into this and make it political, let's make it political. You don't think that they're targeting athletes to make examples out of them? You don't think that that's the case? Because, I said something along the lines of, it's just funny that these bird brains, right? These bird brains in the comments, I respond to them and they just like, They give me nothing. This guy goes, this is propaganda. The guy killed 2 cops. Be careful with how you phrase things. This is a misleading post. Okay, you want to come in here and talking spicy, then talk spicy. I go, what is propaganda? These are facts. He goes, the word, in my opinion, quote, killed after following arrest during post regime protest. This guy can't even fucking type. Makes it seem like he was killed for protesting. He was killed for murdering 2 cops, not for the protests. Not trying to be negative, bro. Just giving my opinion. God bless. You're a fucking sheep bird brain. Fuck you. Don't speak about anything because you're too stupid. Okay, so I responded to Mr. Bird Brain Claudio again, and I said he was arrested during the anti-regime protests. Was he not? The part that's up for debate is whether or not he actually killed 2 cops, which this dude seems to just believe off rip. This dude just chooses to believe this off rip. Okay, but then when I call him out for it, he goes, true that it's up for debate whether or not he actually killed 2 cops. But here he is in the previous comment speaking about it like it's a fact. He was killed for murdering 2 cops, and then he agrees with me the next comment. When I tell him that's actually up for debate, he goes, true. But that should be stated more clearly in my opinion. Bro, you're a fucking bird brain. It was stated clearly enough. You're just an idiot. Straight idiot. Rest in peace to this guy. Okay, we just lost somebody again. The wrestling community, the combat sports world, we just lost somebody again, and people want to make it political. And actually, my bad. I'm not even showing you guys the screen right now. That's how fucking pissed off I was. And nobody's saying anything about it. I guess you guys are okay with just staring at my face, but I'm not really. I'm not okay with you guys just staring at my face like that. I wish somebody would have let me know. Okay? All right, I wish somebody would have let me know. I'm not comfortable with you guys just sitting there staring at me like that. Okay, that's why I make it the small screen, you know, as much as possible. Anyway, these are the comments I'm referring to right now. These are the comments I'm referring to right now. Mr. Claudio, Bird Brain, you know, whatever the fuck his last name is. Bro, you don't even know his life, dude. Chill. You're the same person, AI2A, who's jumping on the bandwagon that this dude murdered 2 cops. So fuck you. Okay? How about that, AI2A? So, you know, let's read some of the context that I also added. It's also what Colin Rugg has mentioned, but let's just read it from an article. This comes from the New York Post. Okay, Mohammadi, along with fellow protesters Mehdi Ghasemi and Saeed Davoudi, were accused of killing 2 police officers with knives and swords during the January protests, according to Iranian state media. Despite appeals from the U.S., the protesters were found guilty and executed by Tehran. Okay, there were appeals from the U.S. The U.S. knew about this shit. The U.S. knew about this shit, and I believe there was some type of statement given. If I could find it, we'll see. But Amnesty International slammed the executions, alleging that the men were denied, quote, adequate defense and forced to make confessions. Okay, but so how about that? All you bird brains who want to believe the bullshit off rip, why don't you believe this? This is why it's called into question. This is why you don't really believe either side, but I'm using my discernment to believe this side right here. Okay, I believe this. I believe that they weren't given adequate defense and forced to make confessions. I choose to believe that. And if I'm going to look like an asshole for that later on, then so be it. Then so be it. But I choose to believe this. Unlike some of the other bird brains. All right? The humanitarian group said the trio were pushed through, quote, fast-track proceedings that bore no resemblance to a meaningful trial. Ah. But no bird brain dumbass wants to believe that. Farr said Thursday's execution was a haunting repetition of the 2020 execution of champion wrestler Naveed Afkari, who was convicted of killing an Iranian security guard during a 2018 protest. Farr called on the International Olympic Committee and United World Wrestling Organizations to take action against Iran over its brutality against athletes. In other words, ban Iran from the Olympics. You want to use your athletes as propaganda, right? To not protest, then get the fuck out the Olympics. You backwards ass cunts. I don't even use that word. Okay? But it's disgusting. Might have responded to somebody else. Let's see. Yeah, so somebody else goes, I don't like Iran, but if he killed 2 officers, doesn't he deserve it? I said they're saying it's BS charges and part of Iran's blueprint to crack down on protests, targeting athletes who speak out and making public examples out of them. Oh, but you know what that takes? That takes actually some inner dialogue. That takes your own brain power. That takes your own brain power to come up with something like that. It doesn't take much brain power, but it takes a little bit more than just reading the first sentence of the article and jumping straight to the comments. Okay, because yeah, if you read the first 2 sentences, you would see that he killed 2 officers. But if you bothered to scroll through and read some of these other contexts, okay, you would have realized that, oh, he's accused of killing 2 officers, but then he was, also alleged that he wasn't given a fair trial. Okay, the only thing that's for certain is that he was killed after his arrest for being in those protests. That's the only thing that's for certain. Everything else is subjective. But you guys know what I believe. You guys know what I believe at this point. Nitro, well, can you say something of meaning of substance? You say define attack. I don't even know if you're talking to me or who the, oh, should have never attacked the cops. Nitro says define attack. So now Nitro's on my side. I ain't mad, homie. I ain't mad at all. If I was mad, you would know about it. I ain't mad at all. But you know what I just get annoyed with people just like you, Nitro. I just get annoyed with people like you who ignore the human rights side of things and you go straight to making it political. And then you're going to come in here and be like, oh, you're going to make this political? Don't do that, homie. You're the political cuck. You're the political cuck, not me. Okay? You are the political cuck, not me. Coming in here projecting. I just got to put you in your place. And then after you come in here projecting and I put you in your damn place, it's, why are you so mad? Whoa, homie, calm down. I'm perfectly calm, homie. I'm perfectly calm. I'm just excited to walk you down. I'm just excited to walk you down. That's all it is. Now, I don't know about this lady, but I'm going to give you guys this context of this lady. I don't know her. Okay? Speaking about these political cucks. Not that she's a political cuck, but it's like, I don't know her, so don't get on my ass about this, but let me read this out to you. Okay, she goes, today in Iran, in the middle of a war, the regime executed a 19-year-old national wrestling champion for the crime of joining January protests. See, she's the one wording things not right. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Okay? And this is why I don't respect Nitro coming in here trying to gaslight me. I didn't do this, motherfucker. I put it in the first sentence that he's accused of killing 2 cops, didn't I? Okay, she didn't. She didn't. That's the difference. Okay? That's why I don't need to be gaslit by people like Nitro or AI2A, because I'm giving you guys both sides. That's how you know about the fact that he killed 2 officers, because I'm telling you. If you read her whole thing, okay, you might not know that. Let's see if she included it in here. I forget at this point. Been a long day. But she goes, after signaling to the world, including President Trump, that they would halt executions of protesters, the regime has done the exact opposite. 3 young protesters, Saleh Mohammadi, Mehdi Ghasemi, and Saeed Davoudi, were hanged in Qom after a sham trial. Reports indicate torture, forced confessions, no access to chosen lawyers, closed-door proceedings, no right to appeal. I call on Global Athlete HQ to stand with Iranian athletes who are being silenced, imprisoned, and executed simply for raising their voices. Okay? So, where in here did she bring up that he was, killed and hung for killing 2 cops? I'm the one who told you guys that. Okay? And I'm in here getting gaslit by Nitro's bird brain ass. It ain't no big deal, and I could care less about Nitro's bird brain ass, but I'm going to use him. I'm going to troll his ass because he deserves it. And he's going to learn something today, whether he likes it or not. Whether he fucking likes it or not, he's going to take this right now. Okay, so this is more of it. More context, if you will. Listening to things. Davoudi, shit. Tomato. You feel me? AI2A, tomato. So let's look at this girl, Massive, right? I don't know how these names are spelled super goofy. No offense, but like massive. How am I supposed to know? But you know, if you guys want to know where other fighters stand on this shit, let's see. Oh wait, but first, we didn't play this, right? Let me play this for you guys real quick so you can see this young man. Maybe it'll hit different to the insensitive cucks out there who are choosing to believe the bullshit about this guy. As if he lost his damn mind and just killed 2 cops over nothing. Please, how stupid can you be? Gosh, bro. Actually, give me your number. I need to make a quick buck off you. Let me sell you some bullshit ass scam real quick, because that's the type of guy you are if you believe those claims. You know, let me sell you into the what's Andrew Tate's The Real World. You probably got a Real World membership too. Only fucking sheep and bird brains, you know, sign up for shit like that. That self-help shit. Wes Watson style stuff. Okay, let's see it. Let's see him, you know, on trial.
محاربه از طریق کشیدن سلاح سرد در تجمعات غیرقانونی و اغتشاشات منتهی به قتل و شهادت متاسفانه در شهر قم در ساعات ابتدایی شب مورخ 18 سوار یگان ویژه جهت متفرق نمودن اغتشاشگران و کنترل اجتماعات وارد عمل شده و در محل حاضر می‌گردند.
So at the end of the day, you know, rest in peace to everybody, but my heart breaks for all of them. But I want to say my heart breaks for this young man. He's 19 years old. 19 years old, national champion wrestler, lost his fucking life. Okay? 19 years old, national champion wrestler, lost his life. And we got people joking, making political fucking comments about this dog shit. All right? You sicken me. You absolutely sicken me if that's you. Rest in peace to this young man. 19 years old, and he was hung for protesting and accused of killing 2 cops, disgracing his name. I mean, that shit's not right. That shit's not right at all. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize it. It takes somebody, you know, who's just not a fucking idiot. To be brutally honest with you, it just takes somebody who's not a fucking idiot. And I'm all about joking, I'm all about sarcasm, but you know what I mean? Like, and I'm all, you know, you guys know what I'm trying to say right now. It's the bird brains out there who don't have the ability for discernment. You know, Jew says, take it and don't look at Jacob in the way when you take it. Exactly. Exactly. Take it and don't even make eye contact with me. All right? Take it. Don't make eye contact with me. They hung him. Damn, that's messed. Yeah, bro. They hung him, accused him of killing 2 cops. I mean, that doesn't sicken people? I hope at some point they recognize him at the NCAA tournament this weekend, bro. That shit disgusts me, man. Here's somebody else. I don't know if this is true. I'm just sharing opinions with you. Reactions. This person on X says, the Iranian regime executed a 19-year-old for demanding democracy. I stand with his memory and the thousands of other young Iranians. Those who grieve the elimination of Iranian leaders over murdered protesters is telling. Let me find out AI2A and Nitro are going to grieve the elimination of Iranian leaders, all right, and not the murdered protesters. Let me find out, motherfuckers. Let me find out. Let me find out. Okay, and then this girl, you know, because Bobby Green got fucked up by this too. Okay, so, you know, this woman, she called on like Bobby Green and shit. Damn, she's spamming. Okay, so here's Bobby Green reacting to it. She goes, Bobby Green, just watched your video. The way your voice broke when you spoke about the execution of Iranian wrestler Naveed Afkari, it broke me. You were right. It's heartbreaking. Today, Saleh Mohammadi, 19-year-old wrestler, executed for protesting. We need your voice again. So let's hear it. Let's hear what Bobby Green had to say. Fucked him up a little bit. And it should fuck all you up. We lost somebody in our community. That's why we stand up and we speak about it. We don't just let it get brushed under the rug because Saleh Mohammadi isn't fucking, Islam Makhachev. We don't do that around here. Name one other MMA page that posted this. And they act like they're part of the community. Like they're for the community. Not Champ Browns. I don't know if Homo Fight did. But they should have. All the pages should have posted this. This is totally UFC MMA related. Are you kidding me? Yet nobody posts about it. So I'm going to make the biggest stink about it possible.
To digest now, I'd just like to hear your evaluation of your performance.
Can I curse? No.
Yeah, you can.
Fucking terrible. I felt it was terrible. I felt I was off. I don't know. I just felt like I was out of it. I don't know why. Sometimes we have bad nights, I guess. Tonight was my bad night, where I was just like, what's the matter with you? Like, hit him. Like, catch him after that hand, what are you doing? I was just really in my head a lot, Like, you guys showed that terrible freaking thing with Naveed, and it just fucked me up, You really just crushed me today. Like, somebody lost their life today, Somebody lost their life today. I don't know if that means much to y'all, but that means a lot to me, That's the...
Apparently, it doesn't mean much to AI2A and fucking Nitro. Apparently, it doesn't mean much to these guys. All right? You know what? AI2A and Nitro, apologize now. Apologize now. You feel me? Apparently, it don't mean shit to those two. Nitro seems like he's coming around. Nitro, based off me reading through the chat, which is very difficult to do. But, I'm getting a sense that Nitro, he don't want to be this way. He don't want to be the senseless political cuck that he's being. He wants to be a better man. Right? Okay, boom. But I was just going to say, I don't know about AI2A. Because AI2A now roasting Bobby. But AI2A hit me with the sorry. Okay, so AI2A hit me with the sorry. I'm going to take it. Whether it's sarcastic or not, I'm going to take it. Nitro, on the other hand, dropping the dude. That ain't sorry. That ain't sorry. All right, that ain't sorry at all. Nitro, you either going to continue being a political cuck or you're going to join my side. The choice is yours. Like Ju says, get on your knees, motherfucker. Last chance to bow down, Nitro. It's the last chance. I apologize. All right. All right, there we go. There we go. I forgive you. All right? Past is the past. You've been forgiven. Nitro and AI2A. No more being political cucks. Let's listen to Bobby Green finish this off.
Part of our community. I'm a wrestler. That guy was a wrestling coach. He changed people's lives, and he just lost his life. Yeah. Fucking sad.
We saw you emotional on the broadcast. I was going to ask you, how much do you think that affected you in there, just saying that right before?
I'm not going to lie. It fucked me up, man. Like, fuck. I just can't believe a dude lost his life for protesting. The same stuff we do over here. Like, I thought Dana was going to save him. When Dana comes out and says something, I thought Dana's so big, they're going to save that kid. Like, I didn't even worry about it. And then you guys shocked me with that shit? Oh, my God. Like, fuck. That just fucked me up today, bro. I'm fucked up.
Me too, Bobby. Me too. Same here, homie. Let's hear Dana speak on this. I haven't played this one yet, but Dana, I guess, spoke on it. She goes, hey, Dana, we Iranians, remember you tried to save Iranian wrestler Naveed. You even reached out to the president to stop his execution. Back then, I launched a campaign to boycott this murderous regime. Millions of Iranians were crying out for help to remove this regime, but no one truly listened. And now it's happening again. Today, another young wrestler, just 19, has been executed. 3 protesters were hanged today, and hundreds are on death row right now. I speak to families, parents terrified their children will be next. We are running out of time. We need your voice again. Please don't stay silent. No human rights equals no real sport. In Iran, they don't got real human rights. Shit's actually disgusting. I know, I'd be joking and being sarcastic, but the shit's actually disgusting. For the one time, allow me to be serious for the one time and let you know that this shit's actually disgusting. We got AI2A probably grieving the death of Saleh Mohammadi. All right. He better not be grieving the death of any political leaders over there in Iran over the death of Saleh Mohammadi. He better not be doing that.
The Iranian wrestler was executed, who you petitioned, the government to stay his execution. How shocked were you about that?
Unfortunately, not very. You know, I called the president and I told him about it, and he said, the first thing he said to me was, there's already sanctions against them, and there's just no recourse. He said, let me see what I can do, and he started talking to his people. Obviously, everybody saw the tweet that he put out, and I know he did some stuff behind the scenes to try to help, but I know there was a lot of publicity. I know the New York Times, Fox, tons of people in the Middle East and throughout Europe wrote stories about it. And I know some other people too, powerful people, that tried to help. And, at no point during this process did it look good.
Did you see Bobby Green's reaction after he won his fight? He was pretty upset that he had learned about it right before.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's it's a sad thing. I tried to help. I tried, when you look at something like that, first of all, there's only one way to try to help somebody like that. That's the president of the United States or the government, and I tried.
What do you think this situation kind of illustrates when we have a country that's heavily divided on some issues right now, and you have people protesting the government and the police, and it's that same government, those same police that protect their right to protest, and then you have a theocracy on the other side of the world that you can't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that was what a lot of people were saying after I posted the video. He knew he wasn't allowed to protest, but he did anyway. And, much like people anywhere, of the people that are protesting now, when you strongly believe in something, you stand up for yourself. You try to stand up, and, this guy did it even knowing that the penalty could be death. I think as human beings, and especially this guy was a stud athlete, world champion wrestler, very strong guy. I'm sure he was strong physically and mentally, and he was fighting for what he believed in, and it cost him his life.
So I just need to say this real quick that Naveed was accused, the wrestler who was executed in 2020. He was also accused of killing a security guard. Where was that talk in here? Where was all that talk in here? Where's Dana speaking about, where's Dana contemplating what to believe, whether or not, he deserved to die over killing a security guard? He didn't even mention it, because what's understood don't got to be explained. Okay, and that's why it's so, egregious for people to be actually drawing attention to the fact that, he allegedly killed 2 people. We can put that in the article, right? We could put that in the article, but for people to actually hang on to that point and not speak about it like how Dana White spoke on it years ago, okay, grow a fucking brain. Grow a fucking brain. If it was so important that Naveed killed a security guard like he's accused of doing, don't you think Dana would have spoke on it? Nah, it's because what's understood don't got to be explained. We know that Iran's up to bullshit. We know that they're trumped up charges. We know that they're using their athletes as propaganda and killing them. We know that. It don't got to be explained. We just know that. And luckily, all adults were in this room. right? And they knew exactly what time it was. And, you know, nobody said, oh, but he deserved it. He killed a security guard like people are trying to do today while this story is getting swept under the rug. And once again, going back to Bird Brain Claudio saying this is propaganda. They killed 2 cops. Nah, homie, that's exactly what's propaganda. That's just how stupid these guys are, though, right? He has the audacity to start off the sentence and say this is propaganda and then repeat the rhetoric, the propaganda that Iran's putting out. The guy killed 2 cops. This is propaganda. Boom, inserts propaganda into his sentence. Then he goes on and he tries to, phrase me as, him, saying, be careful with how you phrase things. This is a misleading post. You be careful with how you phrase things. You're being misleading, claiming he killed 2 cops as if that's a fact. These guys, they're actually like more stupid than you could imagine. And then I don't even know what's worse, the fact that this dude wrote this or the fact that 12 people liked it. You feel me? Or the fact that 12 people liked it. I know that a lot of people just joke about this shit and they just like don't care and they just, I don't know, they think this political shit is funny or something. But when a 19-year-old wrestler who had the world ahead of him loses his life, I'm not going to keep making the same bullshit jokes. Okay, we could joke about Israel when the time's right. But like right now, you know what I mean? We can't be joking about this shit. It's not a laughing matter at all.